I am the voice, a whisper hiding in the shadows. Too scared to come out into a world consumed by its own interests. While I am young, I am human, and deep down can sense, just as you do, that something imperative is missing in my life. There is an emptiness that words fail to describe, and actions only misleading. A deep longing for something more than our culture seems to offer. Something my mind may try and ignore, yet my heart simply can't no matter how hard I try. It is the void that causes me to kick, scream, shout, run, isolate, and even willfully hurt others. And I fear as I sit alone and in the dark that I am beginning to accept this void as a way of life. Each passing day and observation of the times only affirms that it is by very definition just the way things are. But there's a question in me that still remains. Does it have to be this way?
When I first started acting out, I can say I was about 7 years old. I was raped by one of my family members, and that's when it all started. That's when I started to think, what's the point of even being here?
I was always a trouble child. Grew up with a mom and dad who were never really there.
I had problems with my dad, and me and him have never really gotten along. And then I've also been bullied by a lot of people in school. With my anxiety that I had before depression, I wasn't really able to make friends, so I isolated myself.
Because kids are isolated in their world for whatever reason today, more so than normal, because of the social media and whatnot, and their thought that they actually are being heard and seen, when the reality is they are not.
How I was missed and how I acted, and how even something as simple as a relationship with somebody or somebody to keep me accountable, how that would have helped me so much.
A lot of pain and anger inside of me, because I feel like almost it's my fault.
Because I don't want to think about things, and I don't want to feel certain feelings that I feel. And then when I started cutting, it was like, oh wow, it did take that pain away.
It's like a chain. You start with one thing, and then it just continues and continues to spiral out of control.
The more inside he or she goes with that pain, the more it has to go somewhere. Pain has to go somewhere. And so cutting relieves it for them. Eating disorders relieve it for them.
Scissors, a razor, or something sharp that I can eventually get to and just make that pain go into a different part of my body instead of my brain and my heart.
They're missing that support structure. They're missing that person or the parents, the people in their life that would say, you know what, you're more than this. You can do this. You can overcome this. You have this opportunity, you have this gifting, you have this ability.
Things with us teenagers these days are just deep, and deeper than we let anyone let on. And we keep things to ourselves, and the pressure builds up within us, and it always comes out the wrong way.
That I don't feel like anyone's gonna take me for who I am and who I've become.
You have to be perfect. That's pretty much with things with society these days. You just have to be perfect.
And there's nobody there looking toward each other. It's just about building your own empire.
Very few people take the time, especially a troubled kid, to look them in the eye that tells them it really matters to me what you're going through, and I want to hear about it.
Of the ones I'm meeting with, 90%. I would say of the general population I'm with, still the majority, over half of them, that don't have that person that is validating who they are, who God created them to be.
And actually turning my eyes towards somebody else and learning how to care about them more than I care about myself.
I think the more we can engage kids and pull them outside of themselves and give them voice to what they're feeling, the more we'll see a difference.
This generation needs more help than is let on. I mean, we're going through a tough time. We're really prideful. We're keeping secrets, and we're not getting help.
Because I think kids look up to the older person for like a role model, so you gotta be a role model for them.
Truth is, while it may be hard for me to see and even admit, it's you I need, and I know I can't do this alone.